fascinating to hear him say this in a tone of soothing matter-of-factness instead of horror or anger, which is the appropriate...
Welcome to the new Gilded Age.
Obama's new Netflix special titled Working, What We Do All Day. It's a...
Well, nice of him to ask, finally.
Yeah. It's a 4-part Netflix series that is supposedly a documentary about, working people and their lives and stuff like this. And if you have been following our show for any amount of time, you will know that actually Maximilian Alvarez has been doing this for years on the Working People podcast. And so they have a huge backlog of interviews with working people about their lives, struggles, dreams, all that kind of stuff. And it is a, really, really cool thing that Max does over there at Working People in the Real News. And
in collaboration with In These Times magazine as well.
Yep. And so, it's just super weird. I haven't seen it yet, but Max is watching it, and he is going to be doing a big review for Dissent magazine, and we're very excited for that review to come out. And we want to get him on the show to talk about this.
Yeah.
But it's just, so weird that he is an ex-president, and instead of trying to be active and engaged in politics, or even just generally like doing good and charitable things for people like Jimmy Carter, he's trying to become like a media star. It's
very fitting, I think, given the state of America. I think, given his presidency, in some ways, it's not surprising to me. I think it fits. It fits. He was, Trump may have been, in some ways, the first celebrity president, but I think Obama, in a lot of ways, was a precursor to that, and, had a lot of media hype around him, more media hype than substance, I think his 8-year record would demonstrate. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting, but not at all surprising to me that he would take this track and try to be a media mogul. It makes sense. He's been acting for a while.
Yeah, right. Max transcribed a paragraph from the 4th episode, which is titled "The Boss," where Obama says, quote, "We see their faces on the news. We call some of them by their first names. We know their origin stories and follow their triumphs and defeats. Top business leaders today are more than just heads of companies. Some, at least, have become cultural figures, and with some companies now worth more than many countries, the people in charge are taking on roles that used to be reserved for heads of state, with extraordinary power to determine how we live. But we never see what they actually do. What does a CEO's work look like? What are the pressures and responsibilities they carry? And where are they taking us next?" And Max's commentary is that it's just fascinating to hear him say this in a tone of soothing matter-of-factness instead of horror or anger, which is the appropriate...
Welcome to the new Gilded Age.
Right. Horror, anger, disgust, those are the correct emotions to have when you think about the fact that some top business leaders, quote unquote, are now taking on roles that used to be reserved for heads of state. That is something that you should not be able to say without a deep, deep anger, because we are not supposed to live in a monarchy anymore. Or an oligarchy. We're supposed to be a democracy. And when people can, by virtue of their wealth, begin taking on roles that used to be reserved by heads of state, we are, genuinely approaching oligarchic type rule. And it in a real, like an actual sense, in a literal sense. And so, but Obama is like, oh, this is kind of interesting.
But
This
what
is
if we took a peek behind the curtain of the
Yeah.
oligarchs' lives? What is it like to be one of the handful of evil people who control the world? What is it really like? What do they have for breakfast?
Yeah.
Probably babies, but
Right.
just kidding. Just kidding.
In Minecraft. You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.